Hey, how's everybody doing today? My presentation is on how to shoot a basketball. Basketball is a sport that I've been playing since I'm a little kid, and I felt that it was in my best interest to help give back and teach people who have yet to play this sport, who are beginners, people who are interested but don't know where to start. I want to teach them how to properly shoot a basketball. So let's start out with what basketball really is. Basketball is a sport which is played on a hardwood court. Usually, games are played in a gym on a wooden court, but there are other types of courts, whether it's outside at a park or at your local Parks and Rec. Anyways, the objective of basketball is to shoot a basketball with your hands into the opposing team's basket, and then you must defend them from scoring into your basket. In the event someone scores, anything inside the three-point line, also known as the arc, is worth 2 points, and anything outside of the arc is worth 3. It doesn't matter how close you shoot within the arc, every point is worth 2, and it doesn't matter how far away outside of the arc you shoot. You can shoot from the other side of the court, yet it's still worth 3 points. The team with the most points at the end of 4 quarters, or in college, 2 halves, wins the game. Quarters can typically range from 8 to 12 minutes depending on the level of skill that your league is playing in. So let's first start out with this. There's no proper and correct way to shoot a basketball. Everyone shoots the basketball in different ways, yet there are these 4 guidelines and this mnemonic device named BEEF, which is a technique known to shoot the basketball. BEEF is what I was taught as a little kid, and no matter whose shot you look at or what you are trying to accomplish in basketball, these 4 steps will dramatically help you and change you into a great shot maker. So the acronym I just mentioned is called BEEF. BEEF stands for balance, eyes, elbow, and follow through. These are all the steps you must take once you receive the ball or once you pick up a ball and you want to shoot. Now, before we start, I'm going to give you an example of a very great shot. So this man, Andre Iguodala, plays in the NBA, and if you look, it happens really fast, but he has good balance, his eyes are on the rim, his elbow is pointed at the basket, and he follows through at the very end of his shot. Now I'll get into all the details in a second, but just by looking at this, you can tell why the shot went in. So let's first start with balance. Balance is when you or someone wants to shoot a basketball into the hoop or the basket. You must make sure they are on balance. What I mean by balance is that you have a good shoulder width stance with what they call a solid base. So if I came over and tried to push you over, you wouldn't fall over. You had good balance, and you're in a little bit of a crouch position with your knees bent. Also, your body or the person you're helping shooting, they must be facing the basket. If you can't shoot a basketball looking at the opponent's basketball hoop, so you must be looking at your hoop. Now I'm going to give you an example here. This is LeBron James, who's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And this is during a free throw. His shot is just getting started. This is the first step. And he's on balance. He's looking at the rim, and he's ready to shoot. But if I went over and tried to push him over, I know I wouldn't be able to because he has a good shoulder width stance. His knees are slightly bent. And he's just getting ready to start a shot. So the next step of BEEF is eyes. To make a basket, one must be looking at the rim of the hoop. So when you go to shoot, you have your nice base, and you need to put your eyes on the rim. No matter what type of shot, if you're an elite level player and you're driving as fast as you can to the rim and someone tries to block your shot, you still have to make the basket by keeping your eyes on the rim. That's one of the things that all my coaches have always told me. Eyes make baskets. The reason is you must be shooting where you're aiming, and by looking at the rim, you have a point and where you want to put the ball. So the place you want to put it, the point is on the rim, on the front of the rim, or wherever you are standing. And you want to look right at the front of the rim, and you want to shoot right over the front. So this is going to take a lot of practice to get your depth perception of how far away you are from the hoop and how strong you need to shoot it. But you want to aim just over the front of the rim because it gives you the best chance for the ball to go in. So if you hit the front of the rim, it always has a chance to hit the backboard or the back of the rim or roll in around the rim. But if you hit the backboard or the back of the rim too hard, it's just going to come flying off the basket and you're not going to have a chance for it to go in. So this is a picture of Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller is arguably one of the greatest shooters in the NBA. And as you can see, his eyes are focused on the rim. He has a player closing out to him, and this man, John Starks, is a very good defender. So it's a tough shot. But regardless of what's going on below him or around him, his eyes are focused directly on the rim. He's probably standing on the side of the basket, so his eyes are faced on the side of the basket, and he's going to shoot it right over the front side of the basket. The next step in beef is elbow. Your elbow is arguably the most important thing. Some people shoot the ball with two hands, but in reality, you are only supposed to shoot the ball with one hand. So when you're first starting out, especially when you're a little kid, you shoot the ball with two hands and chuck it at the rim. But that's not proper technique because it allows the ball to go any which way. So you want to put your hand underneath the ball, the hand that you're most dominant in, and put your opposite hand on the side of the ball as a guide hand. Now the arm in which the ball is in, you need to tilt your hand back and make a 90-degree angle with your elbow facing the basket. If you make a 90-degree angle, then it lines up the rim perfectly straight with your elbow, giving you the best chance for the ball to go in. Now, Ray Allen is a great shooter, and you can see his elbow is at a great 90-degree angle. His hand is bent back. The ball is in his fingertips. Like the picture before, he's looking straight at the rim. This is one of the best photos you could see and visualize yourself doing because he has good balance. He's not fading. He's not leaning. His eyes are at the rim. But most importantly, his elbow is straight. When his elbow is straight and you shoot it, you're going to be right on target with the rim. So now, quick time for a reminder. What does the B stand for in beef? B stands for balance. Balance is the most important thing because you can't be leaning and you can't be fading because that's going to throw off your perception of where you think you should shoot it and how strong you need to shoot it. Your solid base should have shoulder width apart, your legs, knees slightly bent. Your solid base needs to be looking directly at the hoop. And like I said recently, it is the most important step because if you are on balance and jump straight up and down, you'll have the best chance of guiding the ball into the hoop and judging how far you need to shoot it the next time, regardless if you miss or make. So the next step is follow through. Follow through is arguably the most important step in my opinion because sometimes you can have a very good shot, but the ball will go in and out. So if you follow through, it gives the ball the proper rotation it needs to go in. If it hits the rim, it'll spin around and most of the time go in. So how do you do the follow through? When you want to shoot the basketball to the hoop, you jump up. And when you jump up in the air, you shoot the ball. Now, you push your elbow straight up and slightly towards the basket, but you make sure your legs do most of the work. When you throw it towards the rim, you're going to want to follow through. You want to make your hand look like a gooseneck. When I was a kid, my uncle used to tell me, when you shoot it, put your hand in the cookie jar. You know, as a kid, you can't really reach the top of the refrigerator, so you stand on your tippy toes and you try to reach your hand in the cookie jar just to get one cookie after dinner. This is going to give the ball the rotation it needs, and it's going to spin in if it hits the front of the rim, or if it hits the back of the rim, it could even bounce straight up and fall in. This is what I mean, stick your hand in the cookie jar and give it a gooseneck. This is Steph Curry, one of the best shooters of our time. And even after he shot it and hit the ground and is walking away, he's still holding his gooseneck follow through. This is important because now he knows for the next shot that he needs to continue to hold his follow through. And if the ball did happen to hit the rim, it would most likely fall in if it didn't swish immediately. Lastly, you need to practice this new skill. Practice is very important to anything in life, but if you want to become an elite shooter, you have to practice. You can't just practice going to the gym and throwing the ball at the rim, but you need to practice the fundamentals and the basics that I just taught you, which is beef. Beef, although it seems really simple and very basic, is a helpful mnemonic device that can make your jump shot become a very successful one. Basketball can take you a lot of places in life, but you need to start using the fundamentals. Now, the best way I learn is by watching other people shoot. And Steph Curry, the person I showed in the last picture, he shoots the ball more times than anyone does in a single day. He shoots thousands of shots. And the reason he became the shooter he is because every day he did it with the correct form. I think everyone should watch this video and use it as motivation to become a better player and a better shooter. The link is listed below, and on your own time, go watch the link and you'll see Steph Curry using his fundamentals, his beef, to make shots and to become the best basketball player he can be.